Hello, everybody. My name's Jeebers, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Now, this video here, I'm going to be kind of using to explain the types of things that I want to do on this YouTube channel, just as like kind of like a welcome on in video. So if you guys are interested in doing that, stick around. And if not, at the end of the video, I am actually going to be opening up some prismatic evolutions. Because that is actually one of the things that I'm going to be doing on this channel is I'm going to be kind of using this channel to focus on the Pokemon TCG, but not just Pokemon. I would also like to maybe touch and dabble in some of the other trading card games that there are out there, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I actually do collect a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards as well, and maybe even eventually Magic the Gathering. I'm not sure yet. But it'd be a lot of fun to do those and maybe even touch a little bit on some Pokemon video games and whatnot and other video games. I do actually have a Twitch channel if you guys are interested over there on twitch.tv/Jeebers. I stream pretty much any game over there, just not very frequently is the thing. And this channel is going to be mostly for my more long form content and I guess not long form, but more scripted content. I guess is the although none of this is scripted, but yeah, it will be for scripted content and opening up boxes of trading cards. Probably for the start, mostly Pokemon. Like I said, I'm going to be opening up this Prismatic Evolutions. I actually have another one, but the box, I have another one here as well. So we got the poster box and we got the 3-pack blisters that we're going to be opening up. But yeah, one of the things that I also kind of wanted to do, I don't see very many people doing this on YouTube, and it's one of the things that I actually kind of like watching, which is doing battle videos where you kind of just go out and you buy like the sealed deck boxes like these here. I have the Deoxys V1 and I have the Zeraora V1, and I'm actually going to be using both of these in a video that I'm going to be filming very soon. Where me and a friend of mine are going to be battling using those decks and only those decks there. Just because that's one of the things that I actually really do like doing is not only playing the game, but also getting other people to play the game as well. And not really focusing on a competitive aspect, because it's one of the things I noticed is like everyone is all about like, you need to do competitive Pokemon. If you're going to, collect, you either need to collect the cards or you need to create the competitively most viable decks. But the thing is a lot of times the competitively viable decks aren't always the fun ones. And the thing is with any of these trading card games, it's about having fun at the end of the day. And that is something that I kind of want to focus on is, getting the Pokemon cards and having fun with them. If it isn't just collecting them and trying to collect the most rare and expensive cards. Because at the end of the day, unless you're looking to sell your cards, the value doesn't really matter. Some of my favorite cards are cards that aren't really worth that much. Like one of my favorite cards I own in my collection is a Nidoking card. And is like worth like, I don't know, like $8. But it's my favorite card. It's not my base set Charizard, which I also own, although I do love that card. But it's not my favorite. And that's kind of the thing that I want to kind of, bring out through my videos. Because honestly, right now, with a lot of the stuff that we're seeing in the hobby at the moment, it is kind of really fueled off of the prices of these cards and seeking out those rare cards. And honestly, that's kind of, at least in my opinion, it's kind of killing the hobby. It shouldn't be about chasing the rarest cards. It should be chasing the cards that you want yourself. Now, if you want to collect all the rare cards, that's fine. But it shouldn't just be about that. And that's kind of what this channel is hopefully going to do and be about with at least the Pokemon TCG. Like I said, I might touch on some other TCGs. Just matters how my fancy goes. For the moment, I'm really liking Pokemon. I'm having a lot of fun playing. I do play a little bit of TCG Pocket, though not much. In fact, I actually just started getting into TCG Pocket because of the Dialga and Palkia sets that were released. Gen 4 is one of my personal favorite gens. I grew up with Gen 1, but when I came back into Pokemon, one of the first new games I played was Gen 4, and I absolutely loved that gen. Pokemon Legends Arceus is one of my favorite Pokemon games that they've ever made. Um, and I still to this day do a lot of shiny hunting in Pokemon Legends Arceus. I'm still trying to get my full shiny decks in that game. Um, but yeah, that's really all I have to say for my ramblings of this video. If you guys do have any suggestions of things that you would like to see me do with the card game or just with pack openings, like I said at the end of this video, well, very soon actually, I'm going to be opening up these Prismatic Evolutions products. And if you guys have any suggestions for what you'd like to see me do when I open them, or maybe you don't like something that I do while I'm opening them, you can feel free to put that in the comments or suggestions for other video ideas that you have. One of the things I actually do really want to do is I want to do like vintage deck battles. Like, instead of it being this Deoxys V, it would be the Jungle Vaporeon starter deck from way back when. From, Jungle. From Jungle Set. But those are very expensive. So those would be kind of hard to make unless I did proxies, which I know a lot of people in the Pokemon community don't like proxies. So we'll think about something with that. But yeah, if you guys have any comments, suggestions, things that you'd like to see, things you didn't like, feel free to go ahead and post that in the comments. Go ahead and post that in the comments below, and hit that like button if you do like the video, and subscribe and click that little notification bell to be notified when I am posting new videos. And without further ado, let's go ahead and open up these Prismatic Evolutions. Alrighty, and welcome back, everybody. This is taking place after the pack openings with Prismatic Evolutions, but I'm putting this earlier in the video just because I forgot to do this. So this is something that I actually meant to do, which is just kind of show off some of the decks that I have. Now, just as a heads up, at least with the Pokemon decks, I do have some more meta decks that I have built, and I do run. Like I have an Ancient Box deck. I talk about that in the pack opening. And I have a Gardevoir and a Charizard EX deck that I've run as well. But these are more of like my creative decks that I've been making that aren't necessarily something where I'm like, yeah, these are the next new biggest and best decks. More so just like these are fun decks that I like to play using cards that you don't normally see. And then these are my Yu-Gi-Oh decks. It's kind of the same thing with these three decks. These are decks that I created for the most part, not following any deck lists or anything, just cards that I wanted to make decks from. And but we'll get to those in a little bit. We're gonna focus on the Pokemon decks first. So the first deck here that we have is my Garchomp deck. Now these aren't going to be like true blue deck profiles, but these are going to be, but I will just kind of be showing them off a little bit. My camera is not focusing there. I don't know why my camera does this sometimes, where it just does not focus. There we go. All right, so this is my Garchomp EX deck. I know Garchomp EX isn't necessarily the best Pokemon, but to try and make the deck a little bit better, I do run Ogerpon, Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon, and I also, as you can see, run a Raging Bolt and Sandy Shocks EX in this deck. So the main attacker in the deck the main two attackers in the deck are Garchomp EX and Raging Bolt. Garchomp loads up the Pokemon on the bench with a bunch of fighting energy. Then you bring in Raging Bolt and you just KO things one turn after the other. You'll hopefully have multiple Raging Bolts on the bench, so that way you can, if this one gets knocked out, the next time you take a turn, you can just knock out another one. Or you could just promote another one and then knock out more Pokemon. The main goal is just to use Garchomp to get as many energies as you can put on the bench, so that way you can hopefully swing with Raging Bolt to take 3 knockouts. Garchomp EX might even take a knockout by himself. It kind of depends on who you're going up against. And then I also have run Blood Moon Ursaluna in this deck, mainly for that Battle Hardened ability. You can attach 2 basic fighting energies. So if I don't have the Garchomp up and running, but I do have my Raging Bolt out already, then I will use that Battle Hardened ability to hopefully get some nice damage in with Raging Bolt and maybe even take a knockout. But yeah, like I said, these aren't deck profiles. If you guys would like deck profiles, I can do profiles for them. But these are just kind of work in progress decks that I am working on. If you guys would like to see deck profiles for these decks, I can do them later or at a later time. Just right now, these are just kind of like, work in progresses for these decks. And even just like kind of me just kind of spitballing and talking about them. The next deck here in these horrible ETB sleeves. They're horrible not because I don't like the way they look. I actually love the way that these look. It's horrible just because these sleeves suck. For shuffling, that is. For protecting your cards, they work just as good as any other sleeve, I feel like. But when you're trying to shuffle these sleeves, they are very... I've worn them down so they aren't as bad as they used to be, but they used to just like stick together. So here we have my Nidoking deck. Now, I am trying to get a Nidoqueen for this deck because the main idea of this deck is... God, it's not focusing again. The main idea of this deck is to get out your Nidoking with a Nidoqueen on the bench, and then you can just keep attacking for no energy costs, 190 damage. It's a poison-themed deck, so I do have... let me see where he is. I have a Radiant Hisuian Sneasler, do more poison damage. I have the Brute Bonnet to poison everything. I have the Peturant so that I deal more poison damage. And I also have, as soon as I can find it, I have Janines to poison my active as well as Binding Mochi. Basically what Binding Mochi does is when it's equipped onto a Pokemon that's been poisoned, deals 40 additional damage. This deck isn't done yet. I don't have the Nidoqueens for the deck. I have not been able to find the singles for those. People are selling them for... They're either not selling the singles for it, or they're selling it for way too much. I saw one person that was selling the whole... each card in the line for $2. So, yeah, I was just like, nah, I'm not going to buy a 10-cent card for $2. I just won't... I'll just wait, because it's not like I really need it for this deck. Well, I mean, I do need it for this deck, but it's not like I really need this deck in particular. This is a deck that I just kind of built for fun and play for fun when I'm playing with my buddies. It's not like I really need to, get it ready for a tournament or anything. It's not going to win any tournaments. It's just a fun deck to play. I like playing a poison-themed deck. I have also been thinking about, instead of doing the Nidoking, Nidoqueen line, is maybe just cutting all of them, adding in more Brute Bonnets. Oh, and I'm out of frame here. Adding in more Brute Bonnets, and then adding in a Walking Wake and maybe some more Peturant EXs. Kind of running more off of the poison theme. I know a lot of people, when they run poison, they run Cloth. I don't have Cloth, nor do I really want to run Cloth. So I kind of have been looking for another way to run poison. Finally, for my 3 Pokemon decks, we have my Rhydon EX deck. Now, I know you guys are probably thinking, like, you said that this was off meta. My Rhydon EX is like one of the best decks out there. And yes, that is true, but I'm running a little bit of a different deck for this. So my Rhydon EX in this deck is not using the typical Pokemon. As you can already see, there's a Psychic Energy there, and there's an Iron Crowns EX. Why am I running Iron Crowns EX? That's because this is actually a future deck. I do run a Zapdos as well. But yeah, I have Iron Thorns EX. I'm planning to... what I really want to do is... I do like the Iron Thorns in here. But what I really want to do is I want to get some Iron Hands in this deck. And then I feel like this deck would actually be a really solid deck. But until then, we are running with the Iron Thorns. And ignore that Pikachu EX. It's a placeholder. I also want the Stellar Crown, or not the Stellar Crown, the Surging Sparks Pikachu EX. But yeah, we got the My Rhydons in here, the future My Rhydons. We got a Prime Catcher. We have the Techno Radars and stuff. Do run the Zapdos from Pokemon Go, because I am running a lot of Electric type Pokemon. Got my nice stamped My Rhydon here. I actually prefer the art for this promo My Rhydon over the other one. So that's why I'm running that. As you can see, I also run the Magneton, although I will probably be cutting that from the deck once I get some Iron Thorn or Iron Hands. I just haven't been able to get my hands on any Iron Hands cards. Um, no pun intended. Yeah, I just haven't been able to find any. I haven't been able to pull them. I haven't been able to find people selling them for not, outrageous prices. So I've just kind of been holding off on getting the Iron Hands for now. I do have, and I do plan to open it up on camera, a box of Paradox Rift and an ETB for Paradox Rift. So, if everything goes well, hopefully I'll get some Iron Hands from there. So I just want two for the deck, maybe three, but really only two. You only really need two. Then just probably add in a Super Rod as a way to recur them in case I need to. But yeah, as you saw, I also had the Heavy Baton and I have the Ancient Booster Energy. But yeah, so these are the three main decks that I built for Pokemon. Again, they're not crazy decks, but they're fun decks to play, especially the Garchomp deck. I actually have a lot of fun playing this deck with the Raging Bolt. I know it's not the most meta Raging Bolt deck. For that, you need the Teal Mask Ogerpon, but I wanted to not use Teal Mask Ogerpon. I wanted to use a more off meta card for it. And Garchomp is one of my favorite cards. I've talked about this on stream before, but I used to play a lot of the Pokemon TCG. One of the first tournaments I ever went to, I used Garchomp, and I did incredibly well with the Garchomp in that VGC tournament. But let's go ahead and move on now. So now we're going to be talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! So this is probably one of my favorite decks that I've made. Not the favorite, but one of my favorites. This is an Infernoble deck. See if we can get that on there a little bit better. Yeah, so we got Emperor Charles the Great. I always really liked the Noble Knights, and when Infernobles came out, I was very excited. So, yeah, we got the extra. So basically, the whole strategy revolves around getting out Emperor Charles twice, and then just putting up a bunch of negates, and then OTKing your opponent, or one turn killing your opponent on the next turn. So that's my Infernoble engine from the extra deck. I also, for a little bit of, these are all my flex cards. I got my Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. I got my Promethean Princess Bestower of Flames, Nightmare Unicorn, just like a lot of these other cards. This is actually the one card that is like a tech card in here. I am running Flame Swordsman with Instant Fusion, so that I can get out the Flame Swordsman, because all these just say that they need a Fire Warrior. Well, what's Flame Swordsman? He's a Fire Warrior, and so if I don't get some of my Infernoble cards in my opening hand, I have Instant Fusion. I just Instant Fusion him out, and then I can start making my own plays. He's also a level 5, which is actually pretty significant for a lot of for the Synchros. So yeah, that's why we run our Flame Swordsman. Yeah, like I can use Flame Swordsman to go into Emperor Charles, the Infernal Emperor Charles. God, this thing just keeps it focuses and then it stops focusing when I stop looking at it, and now I'm trying to get it to focus again. Come on, focus, camera. God, it is not focusing at all. It's not being my friend at all right now. Just trying to. Okay, it's focused. So those are the extra deck, and then we go into our main deck. We got the Immortal Phoenix Gearfried. He is amazing, but here's the other tech cards that I'm running in this Infernoble deck. Celtic Guard of Noble Arms. And the reason why is because Noble Arms Museum allows me to search them out. And he can special summon himself if I have a Celtic Guard. Not necessarily, he can't special summon himself, but I can special summon more Celtic Guards in hand if I have them in hand. So I run 3 of the Celtic Guard of Noble Arms, and then I run, I think, 2 Obnoxious Celtic Guards, and I run the Goblinbergs for the Celtic Guards, and then I run 2 of the OG Celtic Guards, although it's not the OG artwork. We are running that fancy special artwork. But yeah, It's a really fun deck. I love playing this deck so much. It is kind of bricky because of those Celtic Guards that I run, but it's still a very solid deck. I've actually, well, I haven't taken this to tournaments, but I have battled people in like using meta decks, and I've beaten the meta decks. Like I've beaten Snake Eyes with this. I guess Snake Eyes isn't really a meta anymore since it's a ban list. But yeah, I've beaten a lot of the at least when I built this, the meta decks that were around, which was like Snake Eyes. Um, God, why am I blanking on the other one? Yubel and stuff like that. If you aren't a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh and you're a Pokemon fan, you probably just think I'm saying words. But the Yu-Gi-Oh players out there, they will know what I'm talking about. Alrighty, and next up we got my absolute favorite deck, which is with my quarter century rare, the Crusadia Avermax, one of my favorite cards that I've ever gotten. I pulled this card from his. So I originally pulled the secret rare of this, and then I bought the Japanese ultimate rare of it because I actually liked ultimate rares better than secret rares. Still do. But then when they came out the quarter century rare, I pulled the quarter century rare for this. So this card I pulled. I bought one copy, pulled two copies of it, and yeah, I absolutely love this card. This is such a cool card. Design wise, art wise, like I love this card. This is probably one of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I have. But yeah, this is my Mech Knight deck. This now there are some Crusadia in here, but this is almost entirely a pure Mech Knight deck. We do have our Zeus in here, of course, but most of the deck is mostly comprised around playing our Mech Knights and stun locking and then OTKing. I run the Crusadia because if I get the proper Crusadia package, I can just OTK. I of course run the Girsu. He is essential for this deck because if you are going first, he allows you to still combo off while going first. But yeah, this is a really fun deck to play. I love the gimmick behind this deck, and I got my Phantasmal Dragon Phantasmes in here too. I didn't pull this one. I actually traded the one that I pulled for a because I did actually pull one of these. This exact from this exact set back when it was $120 to pull one of these. And I traded it for a couple cards. One of them was Boral Sword Dragon, because I didn't need one Fantastical Dragon Phantasme. Like you if you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh, having one of a card, it's kind of pointless. You need the play set. Because you generally don't run one ofs. You generally run three ofs, especially with a card like this. So yeah, I traded away the one that I had for a bunch of cards that I needed. But yeah, this is a very fun deck to play. I love playing this deck. And this is another deck where this is actually a deck that I have gone to tournaments with. In fact, when I went to the tournament, I lost one game, tied one game, and then won 4 games. So it's 4-1-1. It was just a little locals, so like there wasn't that many rounds. I technically came in second place. Yeah. I remember that too because I remember I went with a friend and he was so pissed because he technically tied with first, but they didn't even announce him up there. I think that he like pissed someone off at the locals or something because like the one guy I tied with, he's the one who won because he went undefeated, technically. The only reason why I actually was going to beat him. The reason why we tied is because we ran out of time. We ran out of time and we had the same life points, so it turned into a tie. But yeah, that guy ended up winning the tournament, and like I said, I came in second because I got the second most amount of the prize packs. So that was really fun. I love that Crusadia deck. Or not Crusadia. It's not Crusadia. This actually used to be my Crusadia deck, but I turned it into a pure Mech Knight deck because Gearsu is really good. And it makes the Mech Knight engine so much better. I do actually hope that they do get more support later on for the Mech Knights. Alrighty, and moving on to the final deck that we'll be talking about today. Probably my worst deck out of these three for the Yu-Gi-Oh decks. It is my Shiranui deck, or my zombie deck, as I like to call it. I really loved the Shiranui archetype, just both with the artwork that they have for it, and also just how it works. Like, you work off of banishing your cards, pulling them back from the banish pile. You get benefits when you banish them. And it's just a really fun playstyle, and I really do like it. It really does feel like, the zombies are dying and then they're being risen back again, and they're coming back, and it's just an unstoppable tide. We got the Vampire Sucker there. I have the I can't even read its name. The Red Eyes Zombie Dragon Lord, Red Eyes Necro Dragon. Ignore the Summon Sorceress that's in there. I put Summon Sorceress in here because I thought she was going to be coming off the ban list, but then they didn't because they errata the card. So I assumed they errated it and they're reprinting it. So I assumed it was going to come off the ban list. It hasn't yet. If I were to go into a tournament, hopefully I would remember to take that out. And then we got our Eldritch of the Golden Lord, and just like a few other like basic zombie cards. But the basis of the engine, there's the Doom King Balderok. Basis of the engine is working off of these Shiranui cards, and the whole strategy revolves around getting out the Shiranui Link monster with the Shiranui Synchro, and then you just keep cycling them back and just whittling down your opponent. Zombie World is such an amazing it's such an amazing floodgate, or not necessarily floodgate, but because like it turns off so much of what your opponent can do when you get Zombie World out, because it turns all the cards on the field into zombies. And since so many archetypes are built around there being warrior support or cybers or machines or psychics, it turns off a lot of those plays that you can do. It's not as good anymore, Zombie World, just because a lot of the decks have kind of gone away from that type of synergy. It's now more about, the names of cards, like Shiranui, for example, or Mech Knight. Like it calls out those things rather than calling out, your light warrior monsters or your fire warrior monsters. The only exception is, of course, this Inferno Noble deck, but this deck is so turbo heavy that it can even play through Zombie World. But yeah, so those are just like a look at some of the decks that I have. And if you guys would like to see deck profiles, or even just see me play the decks with some friends on here, I know I said that I had the battle decks that I was going to be doing for Pokemon. I'm fine with doing, if you guys are interested, fine with doing Yu-Gi-Oh deck battles where, it's my deck versus my friends' decks, and just kind of, doing stuff off of that, or even with my Pokemon decks as well, battling my friends' decks with my own, or with my decks as well. So, all right. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and send you guys off onto the Prismatic Evolutions pack openings. Hopefully you guys do enjoy it, and I will see you on the other side. Alrighty, so welcome back from the rest of the video. This is filmed a little while later with my Prismatic Evolutions. Let me try not to take it out of the frame for you guys. So like I said, we're going to be opening up two here. We got the 3-pack blister with the sticker collection with that nice little Sylveon promo card. And then we also got the 3 Evolutions, Flareon, Vaporeon, and Jolteon, with that nice little poster on the back. And if I can, I'll try and show off the poster. I'm not sure if I'll be able to with my current setup, though. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead. I'm going to set this to the side for now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open up the blister here. So let's get this opened up. This is actually going to be my first time as well opening up Prismatic Evolutions. I'm actually really excited for this. I'm excited to open up the set, but I'm also kind of a little disappointed with the set, just because the pull rates currently seem like they are not really good. There's those stickers. I I know someone who will have fun playing with those. And trying to get my promo card out of here without ruining the thing. There we go. So we got that nice little Sylveon. I forgot to bring over card protectors, so we'll see if I actually need them. I'm going to just toss the box over here. My cat's in the room, so he'll probably start playing with it. But yeah, as I was saying, this is the first time I'll be opening up Prismatic Evolutions. I'm really excited, but also kind of disappointed that, like I was saying, the pull rates in this set are not nearly as good as they were for the Japanese set. Now I know the Japanese set are, their pull rates are always very different, but I was kind of hoping that these would be more on par with, there's a code card for anyone, more on par with the, ooh, look at that, we got a Hollow Energy actually to start with, nice. Too bad I don't have a grass deck. I was hoping it'd be more on par with Crown Zenith pull rates, so you're getting pretty consistent pulls and whatnot, and my camera is not focusing. Focus, camera, focus. It is not focusing. I don't like this. Why is it not focusing? It's like all blurry on the card. There we go. All right, so we got a Dreepy. I actually do want to build a Dragapult deck. I got Miltank, Riolu. We got Aeromotis, Halucha. Ooh, I actually do need one of these, a Techno Radar and a Festival Grounds. And we got a Reverse Harlow, Blood Moon Ursaluna. Oh, wow. In the very first pack I've ever opened, I get the gold Teal Mask Ogerpon. Let's go. And behind it, we got a Flareon. Wow, this is insane. That looks so good, that card there. All right, I'm going to stop messing with it too much because I don't have sleeves over here. So I don't want to get the card all jacked up. Wow, that's insane. Very first pack ever. First pack magic, I guess. Alrighty, and so got a normal water energy, not a hollow water energy. Let's go ahead, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the Teal Mask Ogerpon right there. And where's that hollow energy that I got in the beginning? We're gonna go ahead and put that. Look at that. The grass energy was telling me that we were getting the Teal Mask. All right, so we got a Houndour, we got Applin, we got the Goldeen, the new Hoot Hoot, we got a Bronzong, Earthen Vessel. I actually do kind of need these Earthen Vessels, so I'm happy about that. Rescue Board and a Prime Catcher. We got our Ace Spec. Oh, and there's a cat jumping on my table. I'm trying to make sure that he doesn't destroy my cards. That was my little cat McGill, who I call Lil for short. He wanted to be a star, that's all. All right, so I got a Kieran and then a Pheasantipity as the hollow. Alrighty, wow. So 2 hits already. We got the Prime Catcher and the Teal Mask Ogerpon. I'm so happy about this. And this. Oh, that is so good. That looks so good. Very happy. Alrighty. Yeah, and like I said in the video, if you guys have any suggestions, like if you want to see a face cam, that way you can see, the reaction of on my face when I pull these cards. Go ahead and put that down below too. I know some people like some people like face cam, some people don't like face cam. So if you guys would prefer the face cam, let me know, and that's something I can try and do for you. And we got Professor's Research, we got a Litleo, we got a Lacey, we got a Halucha, another Techno Radar. Ooh, we got a Pokeball Reverse Hollow for a Baniri. Now these are kind of like, these have replaced the illustration rares and stuff for this set. So instead of having illustration rares, we have these Pokeball and Master Balls. And I actually really like the texturing on this card. That looks really cool. I wish it was not a Baniri. Not that I have anything against a Baniri. Just, I would have preferred a card I would actually use in the deck. Got the Reverse Hollow Ogerpon and a Leafeon. Alrighty, so now we are going to move on to our next set of Prismatic, which is going to be this poster collection. So I'm going to go ahead and get this opened up. And I don't know if I'll be able to do it on camera. I will try my best to do it on camera. But yeah, we're going to get this opened up and we're going to take a look at
what we got inside. I'm going to try my best not to damage the poster, because that would not be fun, right? So one of the things, too, I kind of wanted to talk about is that when you're buying Pokemon products, the most important thing when you're buying products is to try and make sure that you're buying things at MSRP, or maybe if you're not getting it directly at MSRP, slightly above isn't too horrible. So if, you have, if MSRP, like for this poster collection, MSRP is $20. If you spend $25 on it, that's not too horrible. But just try and make sure that you're not buying from the secondary market, especially right now with how crazy things are going in the secondary market. This is going to be way too big for me to show this off. I will try and show it off at a later part of the video. Maybe after I'm done filming and everything, I'll try and get it all set up so you guys can see the poster as well. But yeah, like I was saying, try and get things at MSRP. Don't buy into the FOMO and feel like you need to get the packs right away or else you're never going to get them. Because you know what? The FOMO, that's what the secondary market is looking for. They're looking to get that FOMO and to get you to spend way too much money for these packs. So don't let that control your buying decisions. Just wait it out. You'll eventually be able to find these for MSRP or slightly above. I got all these at MSRP. You just got to be patient. And you know what? If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. The fact is that these are Pokemon cards, and they're going to be around for a very long time. So let's look at these. So we got the Jolteon promo, the Flareon, and the Vaporeon. Vaporeon is one of my favorite evolutions. I'm very happy to get all three of these. Honestly, I'm just very happy to get all three of these. I love the base, or why am I blanking on it? The original 151 evolutions. So I'm always happy to get those cards. I kind of am hoping to get a Evolution EX in this. Don't necessarily need. Ooh, look at that! We got another Hollow Energy, Water Energy this time. Is that gonna? Does that spoil anything? But yeah, because I really want to make a Flareon EX deck. Well, not necessarily just Flareon. I want to make an EX deck. Ooh, Dracloak. An EX deck, or a deck with all the evolutions. So I'm hoping to get at least one of them. Oh, I kind of spoiled myself a little bit. So we got a Pokeball of Explorer's Guidance. There we go. Pokeball reverse hollow. And hey, look at that. The Budew that everyone wants in competitive right now. So yeah, you can kind of see how textured it is on there. I really like these Pokeball rares. I would have preferred illustration rares. But the Pokeballs are pretty nice. I do like them. And that's a card that I will actually use in my Ancient Box deck. So that'll be pretty nice. Alrighty, and let's move on to the next pack. So I've actually been getting pretty good hits on these. If you count the Pokeball Reverse Hollows, which I kind of am counting those, I've got a hit in every single pack. So pretty good luck on these blisters. And that is an Eevee too. This Eevee is actually a really good Eevee. You can basically use this to evolve a Pokemon on the first turn. You don't need to wait at all. Ooh, Glass Trumpet. I actually needed that. Heatran. And look at that. We got ourselves another Ace back. We got the Heavy Belt Ace back. This I actually might think about slotting into. I have a Charizard EX deck. I might think about slotting this in there because it's actually really good for that deck. And then we got Reverse Hollow Duraludon and a Vaporeon as our rare. Our Hollow rare, that is. Alrighty, and what we do around here for our last pack, I was holding it upside down. What we do around here for the last pack to make sure that we get that last pack magic is we simply just turn it around and just give it a little slap there as I hit my camera with it. And then let's go ahead and get this opened up. And hopefully we can go 6 for 6 with my first 6 packs opened of Prismatic Evolutions. Alrighty, so we got just the basic water energy. We got Cottony, a Litleo. We got another Dracloak. I need this for my Dragapult deck, so I'm very happy. I just need the Dragapults now. We got the Duraludon, the Regigigas, which this is also a very good playable card. We got ourselves the Lacy. I almost said Lassie. That was my cat again. He just really wants to be in the video. We got the Halucha, Reverse Holo Litleo, Reverse Holo to Dunsparce, or just Dunsparce, and we got ourselves the Fluttermane as our rare. So that was actually the first pack that was actually a dud for us out of all of these. So yeah, this is actually this is a pretty good pull on all these cards. And you know what? Since I'm having so much fun opening these, I'm going to go ahead and open one more box of Prismatic Evolutions. Well, not box. It's another sticker blister. I had an extra pack, and I figured, you know what? Let's just go ahead and throw this in here as well instead of making my own another separate video with it. So that's just my my camera woman trying to deal with the cat that wants to roll over all over the cards. That same cat, I was playing a little bit of the card game yesterday, and he decided to jump all over my cards while I was not looking at him. And so basically, here's what happened. He jumped up on my computer to distract me, so I would come over there and get upset with him for being on the computer and trying to eat my mouse cord. And when I scared him off from there, he proceeded to jump off and go and try and eat one of my cards. He took it in his mouth and then ran off with it, the little punk. And also, let's go ahead and look at this Sylveon promo card real fast as it focuses. Because I didn't look at the first one, and I guess that's the other good thing about me coming back around and doing this. I actually prefer these foil patterns than the actual foil patterns that we get in the, like here. I'll hold this one up against this. I prefer this, I guess they call it the cosmic foil. I prefer this over this. I don't really like the lines on it too much. I prefer this cosmic foil. And it could just be because it reminds me of the old school cards. That's why I like it a lot better. But I don't know. I like the cosmic one better. Alrighty. So at the end of this, we're actually gonna have opened 9 packs. That's about the same amount that you would get if you had an ETB, which those ETB prices for Prismatic are kind of crazy. Would not pay those, and maybe eventually I will be able to get an ETB. I like to collect the ETBs. Oh, look at that! We got the Pokeball Reverse Holo for the Noibat. I'm sorry if you can hear my cat down there playing with the trash. We got a Jolteon and then an Iron Boulder. I almost have a full playset of these Iron Boulders. They're not a playable card, however. But yeah, I try to collect all the ETBs. I was not able to get my hands on a Prismatic Evolutions ETB, and hopefully I can eventually get my hands on one. I'm hoping that the Pokemon Company does continue to print. Let's see what the energy is. We got ourselves a Dark Energy and a Houndoom. Interesting. Oh, well, I already saw what the rare is. Spoiled that for me. All right, so we got Professor's Research. But yeah, I'm hoping that I will be able to get an ETB eventually. Who knows, though, with how crazy things are going with this. Oh, we got the Roaring Moon Reverse Holo. I like the Reverse Holos for the rares a lot of times. And oh, we got the Master Ball Duraludon. That is pretty crazy. So I know these Master Ball cards are going for a lot of money. I actually might end up using this because I do actually want to build. It's the idea for the deck I have is let's see what the rare is. It's another Fluttermane. The idea that for the deck that I have is the Tyranitar from this set. So the Tyranitar EX from this set that's not a Terra type Pokemon, and Archaludon, and making a deck out of them. Because the Tyranitar from this set, I believe he has an ability where does 50 more damage for each energy card attached to him. Duraludon allows you to turbo energy out, kind of like how Charizard EX does. So you turbo the energy out, you attach the energies to Tyranitar, and then you just start to blow things up with him. That's the basis or the basic idea for the deck. And I think it could be a lot of fun. So I might actually run that Duraludon Master Ball in it. Who knows though? Maybe not. We got Black Belt. Actually, this is another card I actually did want to try and get. Fan Rotom. I needed that. Same thing with this Buddy Poffin. Very nice. We're getting some cards that I needed. Kieran. And look at that. We got another Pokeball Reverse Holo for the Techno Radar. That is pretty awesome. That looks so cool. I actually really like this one in the Pokeball Reverse Holo because of all the. It looks like the disco pattern behind it, behind the radar itself. And then we got Professor's Research Reverse Holo, and we got a full art of Larry Skill. That is pretty awesome. So we got a double hit in this pack. I love the double hit packs. I mean, who wouldn't? Alrighty. So those are all of our hits. Got quite a few. Now I know in the beginning of this, I was talking about how I wish that these had better hits. And it's not that like I think that these hits aren't that good or anything like that. The main thing that I look for a lot of the times when I'm looking for hits are the playable, or not necessarily the playable cards, but like the EXs and stuff. I want those Pokemon I'm going to use in my decks more so than a Pokeball Reverse Holo of a Noibat or a Pokeball Reverse Holo of a Baneri. The ace specs, the two ace specs are incredibly good, so I'm very happy about those. And then, of course, the gold Teal Mask Ogerpon. It's hard to complain about pull rates when I got some really good pulls from this. So the one thing I will say that I learned from this is don't get ETBs. Get the 3-pack blisters because you get better pulls. All right, and that is going to be it for this section of the video. Thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you guys all on the flip side. Bye-bye.